Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. And in this video, I'm going to be going over things to know before you learn how to assemble the RitFit M1 Smith machine. So I recently just completed assembling this by myself, and it took about 6 hours for me to do individually and by myself. And so the first thing is definitely have someone help you assemble the RitFit Smith machine. And the reason why is because it'll probably take you less than 2 hours to do it, and it'll also be a lot safer if you have someone help you. The only reason why I assembled it by myself was just because I was quite excited to actually assemble it, and it is possible for a normal individual to assemble it by yourself. Just make sure that you're very careful. The second thing is that RitFit's assembly instruction video is actually really good at teaching you how to assemble this all together with two people. So make sure you follow that closely. I think the video is only 4 minutes long, but it really helps guide you in as far as what person A should be doing and what person B should be doing. Now, as far as mistakes that I made when assembling the RitFit Smith machine, while you're assembling the RitFit M1, don't tighten everything to the tightest, okay? So every single bolt that you see here, I would say don't tighten everything until you have everything in place, just because the mistake that I made was that I tightened these two bolts here, and then I also tightened these two bolts here. And because I tightened those two really tightly, I wasn't able to fit this one on the top. So I had to loosen up these bolts a bit on both sides so that I was able to actually go ahead and attach all the different components. If you tighten up everything right from the get-go, there are going to be some parts that are going to be more difficult to place than others. So my recommendation is just tighten it enough so that you feel safe, but also that it's still loose. Now, the fourth thing is that when you're assembling your RitFit machine, try to place it in the exact area which you already want it to be, okay? So when I finished assembling my machine, it was actually really difficult or impossible for me to move just because it was so large. So I had to wait for my brother to come by and help me move the machine overall. So ideally, try to place the machine where you plan it to have, or try to assemble the Smith machine where you ideally want it to be. But if you don't, then someone's just going to have to help you move it. The fifth thing is also get floor mats, okay? So right now, my M1 RitFit Smith machine is on horse stall mats in order to protect my garage flooring. So get yourself a set of horse stall mats from your local tractor and supply company store, just so that you don't damage your floor. So whether you're in a basement, a garage, or a spare bedroom, you definitely need mats, just because I think this thing weighs about like 300 or 500 pounds. Now, the sixth thing that I want to mention before you start assembling your RitFit machine is that delivery cosmetic damage is bound to happen, just because this comes in 3 separate parts. So for example, if you look at right over here, this was already damaged when it came to delivering to my home, and the boxes weren't in the best shape, but everything still works perfectly just fine. Just know that it's not going to be a perfect delivery package where the package isn't damaged at all. And then the last thing I want to mention before you actually go ahead and assemble your RitFit Smith machine is that make sure you follow the instructions closely, and also make sure that you have all the components or parts. I've read online that some people are sometimes missing parts from the manufacturer. You would just need to go ahead and contact RitFit themselves. Their support chat is actually really good at getting back to customers who are missing parts. So make sure that you have 2 pulleys, make sure you have the Smith machine bar, make sure you have all your pegs and attachments that come with the Smith machine. And with that, just make sure that everything is complete before you actually forget. Now, the last thing that I actually just remembered is that when putting together the pulley system, which is this part right over here, make sure that you straighten out the rope first, okay? So I made the mistake of actually putting the pulley system or the aluminum wire through while it was still kind of tangled, and that led to issues in which the aluminum pulley wasn't actually straight. So straighten it out first. When you get it, it's going to be coiled in a loop, but make sure you straighten it out first before you weave it through the actual pulley system. And so that's pretty much it as far as assembling this goes. You can do it by yourself, but like I mentioned before, try to make sure that you have someone help you, just so it takes a lot less time. But if you have any questions about assembling it, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.